Are you full of turkey? Did you potentially have a lot of alcohol? Did you spend a lot of money?
Or all of the above.
It is the week that happens throughout the year. And in about 4 weeks, we'll have another one. Anyway. That's all I got in terms of an intro.
We're turkey drunk.
Whoo, tryptophan.
Welcome to the Gamers 2 podcast for November 27th. Is that what today is? Yep, November 27th.
Good job.
Your weekly roundup for news and commentary related to the video game industry and anything else that might pique our interest.
Which eventually will lead into sales.
Ooh.
Somewhat of Black Friday, just things we've seen. Specifically, one big deal I will call out. Also, I'm going to bring up food later.
Food.
Just some conversation around what favorite dish, wants, needs,
things you don't like,
things that can be passed on. They don't need to exist.
Mm-hmm.
That type of thing.
Yeah.
But before I ask you those questions, Matt, we have a question that got asked of us from one known as Odd Rod.
I got one of those.
Hey. Well, your Odd Rod asks, did you know there is a breakfast called Famous Toastery that has a flight of mimosas?
I did not know that, but I am interested.
I'm listening. I also don't give a shit.
Negative Nancy over here.
It's just, I'm not a huge mimosa person. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mimosa, we're doing orange juice vodka. We stop there? We throw anything else in?
I've always done mimosas as orange juice and champagne.
Ooh, okay, champagne. That's probably better. For some reason, I thought vodka, and maybe that's just because I'm a heathen and I'm uneducated on these things. But I don't know. They're always kind of Just I think I've talked about this before. Just give me the champagne. I think we've discussed this on the podcast.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Which is probably why
why it's the question. Yeah, don't put the orange juice in it. Just give me the damn champagne.
Yeah, it's usually...
I don't need to hide that I'm an alcoholic at 8 a.m.
It's usually 1 part orange juice, 1 part champagne.
Yeah, and I don't need... There's no reason I need to hide. We've done this entire bit. Just go listen to the last episode. I can go to IHOP, drink the entire bottle of champagne. I made the whole joke. Now I'm remembering it. But yeah, there's no reason to hide that I'm an alcoholic at 10 a.m. with orange juice and champagne. Just give me the bottle of champagne.
I don't know.
Also, I have I have questions about the question.
Every time we talk about mimosas, and like the 3 or so times it's come up, I'm always like, damn, I want a mimosa. I'm gonna do that, and then as soon as I walk out the door, poof,
yeah,
gone.
And then next week it's like, I want another mimosa. You're like, I never had the first one. I have a question. There's a breakfast called Famous Toastery. Is that the name of a breakfast or the name of a breakfast restaurant?
I actually just Googled it.
It says a flight of mimosas. Usually you get flights at restaurants or bars or...
It seems to be a place.
Where is the place?
They seem to be located... Okay, this is telling. They seem to be located
I have an idea where
it's in the North Carolina, Virginia area.
I had a feeling I might know where it's located. I don't. But what do you do in a flight of mimosas? You know what I mean? Like, think about that. A flight of mimosas. Usually, when you get a flight, it's different. Each one would be different.
So a mimosa doesn't necessarily have to be orange juice. So it could be any sort of citrus juice.
Oh, now I'm thinking like apple juice and champagne. And that sounds
pineapple
disgusting.
Juice.
Hey, ladies. Let me tell you what mimosa I had this morning.
Deep reference there.
It's not that deep.
It might be for some people, I guess.
I hope it is for some people.
Yeah, it looks like breakfast, lunch, and brunch all at once is their tagline on their website.
Well, no shit. How do you have breakfast, lunch, and brunch? Like, that's a terrible tagline. Now I'm annoyed.
I'm interested because this is like this is my... This would be my jam here.
Here's my thing. I'm interested. This can go back to if we ever find the car we want in North Carolina or Virginia, we have a place to stop now as we're driving. If issue. You were getting way too invested in this.
I could tell. I'm gonna tell you their cocktails once you're all set over there.
Okay, I'm just gonna say the one last thing about their slogan. Obviously, if you have breakfast and if you have lunch, you also have brunch. You don't get to say and brunch. Like, no shit. The first two make the third.
So they have their mimosa. They have a creamsicle, which is vodka, orange juice, cream, and house champagne.
I'm here for that.
There's a rumosa, which is mango rum, orange juice, and champagne.
So far, number one, I'm still on the creamsicle.
Cold War Russian. Cold brew coffee, vodka, Kahlua, and Bailey's.
I'm out. You started with coffee.
Let's see here. Peach Bellini, peach schnapps with peach puree and champagne.
See, now that I'm interested in because I do love me a good peach. So I'm just curious. So creamsicle, peach.
Cranberry juice with champagne.
Yeah, that's called I'm lazy. I usually do that.
Pineapple juice and champagne.
Hey, there it is.
Kiss of the Irish cream, coffee liqueur, coffee and whipped cream.
Huh.
Oh, flight of mini mimosas. There it is. Choose 4: peach, mango, wild berry, passion fruit, classic OJ, and cranberry.
Remove the mango. I'm curious about the wild.
Well, if we're ever out of a pandemic, I will find myself a famous...
You find yourself on a way to Virginia?
Yeah. Whatever that place was called. Famous Toastery.
So we're going to go buy a project car. We're going to stop at Famous Toastery, and we're going to make a trip to White Castle.
I made an agreement with the old ball and chain.
Oh, boy.
Spring. I'm finding myself a Miata.
Yeah?
So...
You going to junk those other ones you're going to get rid of over there?
One of them will be junked. So...
Well, hopefully there's a Miata in North Carolina / Virginia.
Yeah.
And we can go find
a
Famous Toastery and have mimosas.
Yep. Among other things. Anyways, back to video games.
And the new ones that came out this week, including one Nate spent too much time with. And by too much, he means not enough.
It's never enough.
Number 1, World of Warcraft, the Shadowlands expansion has officially released.
Gotta chase that dragon.
Nate won't tell you. You never catch the dragon, Matt. You never catch the dragon.
I noticed.
Bad news, Nate won't tell you how much time he spent in that game.
I was going to ask.
I don't have really a way to tell.
That's what I figured.
Since then, I can tell you how much time I've spent at 60 now. But I can't tell you the time. I can tell you it took me 10 hours, probably 10 hours or so to hit 60, which was 2 sessions for me. But the amount of time I've played since 60, that was about midday Tuesday. It's currently late Friday, so that much time.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever the math may be.
Minus sleep.
Yes, minus that much time, minus sleep, to the power of 3. Number 2, Cobra Kai, the Karate Kid saga continues for the Switch. Number 3, Football Manager 2021 for the PC.
It's going to be a rough couple weeks for you.
That'll probably be starting next week. I have to talk to Kenny. He messaged me today. He's like, I know you're stuck in WoW, but when are we going to start Football Manager? And I was like, honestly, we'll probably start next week, but I have to actually get a time set away for them. Because I'm like, by the way, Cyberpunk's the week after, so...
We gotta slide it in. Well, Cyberpunk,
and I think Cyberpunk is also the same week that the raid releases in WoW. So, I'm gonna be watching the Game Awards and playing Cyberpunk.
Mm-hmm.
I might be raiding the night before that. It's all smoke and mirrors on who I have to please. Myself, always. Number 4, Just Dance 2021. For the PS5 and Xbox Series X. Number 5, Out of Space Couch Edition for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Number 6 is Vigor for the PS4. Number 7, Android Hunter A for the PC. Number 8, Root Double Before Crime Times After Days X10 Edition for the Switch. I fucking hate those names. Number 9, Maid of Sker for the Switch. Number 10, Spirit of the North for the PS5. And number 11, The Unexpected Quest for the PC.
There you have it. A lot of good ones. Really,
two really big ones.
Yeah.
For this podcast.
Next week's is going to be really short.
Oh yeah.
It's going to be like Cyberpunk. Everyone else.
No, it'll be 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Okay, 2 weeks. It'll be really short.
Next week there won't be anything because everybody just ran away from Cyberpunk anyway.
Yeah.
December will be bleak,
Mm-hmm.
or it'll be indie bonanza. Next week
Yeah.
I should be able to say Empire of Sin is officially out.
Oh yeah.
Do me some gangster RPG stuff.
All right.
I'm gonna take evens.
That's what I wanted you to.
What? Why? I mean odds.
The Verge had an interview with the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer. Naturally, some interesting things were discussed. So we're going to go over them real quick. The interview itself is actually fairly interesting. If you find futures of the video game industry and all that good stuff interesting and what Microsoft's doing in general, it's worth a read. Here's some snippets. We got some insight into how Game Pass works as far as paying developers. The subscription service originally paid studios based on the usage of their game, but deals have now varied to the point where they're all over the place. Quote, that sounds unmanaged, but it's really based on the developer's needs. A smaller to mid-sized developer might be starting a game and say, hey, we're willing to put this in Game Pass on our launch day if you guys will give us X dollars now. Hey. We'll create a floor for them in terms of the success of the game. They know they're going to get this return. End quote. Spencer noted that in some cases, Microsoft pays for the full production cost of a game's development, but still allows developers to generate more revenue by taking their title to retail, even for other platforms, including PlayStation, Steam, and Nintendo Switch. I thought that was pretty interesting. He continued, quote, others want agreements more based on usage and monetization, in whether it's a store monetization that gets created through transactions or usage. We're open to experimenting with many different partners because we don't think we have it figured out, end quote. Spencer added that he hopes to eventually settle on a hybrid model that's based on both usage and upfront payments.
Makes sense.
It does. I wasn't expecting them to be so freeform about it. You know, like, what'll work for you guys?
We're in a new age of Microsoft that realized if we're just nice, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah. There was a trend through the interview, and it was clearly like, you know, Game Pass works, and it's the future for us, and we're going to play the good guy so that no one has an excuse not to use Game Pass on their systems or service.
Yeah. And it's such a good service that Matt bought 3 months of it.
I did.
For $20?
$20 for 3 months of Game Pass Ultimate.
Which is $15 a month normally, so $25 off.
Yep.
What a Black Friday deal. Boom, there's one out the gate.
Boom, got it. I'm gonna try that xCloud out.
X gonna give it to you.
Where were we? Okay. He also talked about brand fanatics, sort of. Quote, that tribalism in the industry, if there was anything that would ever drive me out of the industry, it's actually that. When a team releases something into the market, for the world to tear it apart on the internet, it's just such a brave thing for a team to do. I'm never going to vote against any creative team or any product team to do poorly because I have a competitive product. It's not in me. I don't actually think it helps us in the long run in the industry.
He's right.
Fair.
We've said it before. If the console wars are dead, shut the hell up. But you have enough internet people that are like, well, mine have more teraflops. You're like, oh, dude.
Titty flops.
What? Yeah. It's not about how many titty flops you have, how big they are. It's about how you use them. But yeah, it's the dumbest thing in the world watching. I mean, luckily nobody comments on our stuff, which is, you know, just funny in a way. But you go to IGN, right? And I don't go to IGN anymore. I get my news fed to me in an RSS feed. That just brings everybody together. But you go into some comment sections or you see shit on Twitter or whatever, Reddit, and it's just, oh my god, this is so much better than the Yakuza. Who cares? Shut up. I really hope that they just fail and this doesn't work as a company. Listen, I understand what you might be thinking you're saying. It's not what you're saying.
Yeah.
It-
You
there's
gotta
just-
you gotta have you have to have a somewhat objective view on these things.
Yeah, and like technically, from Phil's and what Phil is saying and what I agree with, you never want, in terms of specifically the consoles, I'll ignore development, games, and I'm gonna, for this conversation, I'll ignore the Switch. Actually, no, I'll keep the Switch there. You want this Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft to all be fighting each other with the best product they can put forward. You don't want one of them to flop, because the moment they want one of them to flop, your common denominator gets fucking tanked. If they're all pushing each other to strive to be better, and you get to have the discussion about how many T-flops do they have, not why does one not work at all, then that's the conversation you want to have. You want these people to be fighting with each other and pushing out great products, not oh my god, my Xbox is so much better. Shut up. No. But the internet told me so. I'll snap your neck. The amount of times I've at least appreciated it. Speaking of internet dumbness, you know what? No, screw it. I'm gonna get it in. WoW, World of Warcraft.
Then no WoW news.
No WoW news, and I'm just gonna get this part in because it's kind of dealing with the tribalism type of thing. There was a lot of discussion going into the expansion of the covenants and like locking yourself in, and everybody's screaming, blah blah blah. I haven't heard an iota of screaming since it came out. Oh, I wonder why. Maybe because the minority screamed as loud as they could, and then nobody really cares, actually.
That's the downside of the internet, really.
Also, and I've seen it at least in my little corner of WoW, it has been a joke enough that people are like, "Hey, so who are you picking?" When people are leveling and you're seeing people hit 60, and then you know they're about to go pick a covenant, and you're like, "Oh, so who are you picking?" And there's been the jokes of like, "Oh, if you don't pick so and so, you're dead to me," just because they people do like the thematical things of certain things. Which is they're all good tongue-in-cheek jokes, but some of them have been asking like, well, who did the internet tell you to pick? And it's like, yeah, exactly. There's enough of it where the internet's just going to scream where it's like, if you didn't pick this because it's 3% better than the other one, you shouldn't be playing the game. Shut up. Shut up. The internet was a mistake.
It's a bold statement.
Social media was a mistake.
I like that. I can get behind that one.
The ability to have comments turned on is a mistake.
Without your identity attached to it.
Which gets into a quite scary idea, but yes.
It does. It's a weird, like...
There's a very fine line where it's like, I don't want that, but also I want that. I don't want that for what it implies.
If people could stop being people, it would be okay.
Yeah. But what I wouldn't give to read somebody's internet history to them. It says here that you recognize the username Dragon Sniper 69.
Nice.
No? Really? You don't remember leaving the comment something racist blah 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 on a Korean freestyle rap video? Really? You don't remember that? Yeah, we're done here. Please leave.
All right. Where were we? When asked, back to Phil Spencer.
Yeah, back to Phil Spencer and Xbox and everything that's decently good so far.
When asked about an xCloud app for TVs, quote, I think you're going to see that in the next 12 months. I don't think anything's going to stop us from doing that.
And you're not putting it on Apple TV.
True that. or Sony TVs, probably.
Yeah, at least not baked into their...
Yeah, have to sideload that.
Oh, unless they're using... I don't know what Sony leverages for their smart TV.
Android TV.
They might be okay then. Because if they're using Android TV, they probably can't, like... tell Android TV you can't have an app available when Android TV is going to have it on their phones and everything else for all the other TVs.
That's true.
So it might be,
Android TV does have an Apple TV now app, which is interesting, I think.
that is interesting.
Yeah. I was thrilled about it, but
That starts spiraling down into who sues who now.
yeah.
Google and Apple about to go at it?
They already have a loss. No, wait, that's Google and Epic.
Yeah. Google, Epic,
No.
Epic, Apple. So now you're about to get a three-way fight when Apple and Google start fighting with each other.
All right.
It's a Mexican standoff.
When asked if this would be the last console generation, I guess you could say, quote, I don't think these will be the last big pieces of hardware that we ship. It's funny because I'm sitting here and I look to my right and here's my Sonos speaker, a Sonos Move, which is a big piece of hardware that's well done. The advent of streaming audio has not caused me to buy fewer audio devices in my home. If anything, it's actually increased the number. They're not like $2 little speakers. This is real money spent on real devices, end quote. I thought that was a very interesting comparison.
It is. It is also a very Phil comparison
Mm-hmm.
because he will do that. We're just, yeah, Zoom call. Holy shit, I spent a lot of money on those Sonos speakers. Yeah, no, it's pretty much the same problem. Yeah, we're going to keep buying hardware. I also hate this question.
Yeah,
'Cause
every
it
year.
happens every generation. Are these the last? Are these the things that will kill the
Mhm.
console generations of the future?
I think to be fair,
That's
this
my
is the
nerd- that's
first.
I'm using that voice a lot.
This is the first like generation where that question has a seat at the table just because of all the streaming services and stuff.
Agreed. It's
But-
the first time that it should be justifiably asked.
But it's
the
the
last-
tale of the boy who cried wolf.
Yeah, the last 3 times when you guys asked it during the PS2, will we ever need to buy hardware again? Shut up. Theme of this week is shut up. Good news for all you people that didn't get to spend it with your families and just had to listen to politics and tell everybody else to shut up. You don't have, you get to listen to me now, tell everybody to shut up.
He's getting it out of his system.
Luckily, it doesn't happen during my. It's not a problem I've incurred in my years of life around a holiday time.
Did you guys do like a Zoom call or something?
Nah.
No, we did a Zoom call.
Yeah,
It's interesting.
was it?
Yeah, it was interesting.
But like, was it?
It was it wasn't bad. You know, you're
You
in the
get what
comfort
I'm
of your
asking.
home. You can mute it. You know, like
Yeah,
it
you
only
can just-
lasts like half hour.
You can
so,
mute that. You can turn off your webcam. You can just walk away whenever you want. You hope they don't notice.
basically.
Yeah, Zoom calls. Like I've done a couple of them, and I've just been like, all right, well, I'm here. What do you guys want? Why am I here? All right, I'm going to move you over to one screen. World of Warcraft. We'll start playing something. You guys let me know if you're busy. Like, I think I did my fantasy draft over a Zoom call, just because a couple of us were just hanging out in a Zoom call. And I've played games. I think we were using like the Facebook one though, and I was like, oh my god, I hate every second of this. But that's because Facebook. Number 2, the PlayStation 5 is Sony's biggest console launch ever. The official PlayStation Twitter account said the next-gen console has surpassed the initial sales of the PlayStation 4, although the company didn't share official sales figures. Quote, we want to thank gamers everywhere for making the PS5 launch our biggest console launch ever, end quote. This would imply that the PS5 is also the biggest console launch in history since the previous record holder was the PS4. Microsoft Series X/S launch was also a success, breaking their own internal console sales records. Do we talk about the fact that PlayStation doesn't have any more PS5s?
We don't. I figured we would end up mentioning it at this point in the game. They did say, so in the same tweet, so okay, I guess a series of events here. Obviously, did I add the, hold on a second, let me back up here.
Checking notes.
I don't remember what I added in, what I didn't add in.
I didn't see anything about that.
The scalpers and stuff?
No,
Oh.
I don't. No, there's a PS5 thing mentioned in
Okay.
Steam here in a bit, but
All right. I didn't add the scalper thing in there because I just didn't want to go through all that hassle, but
yeah, no scalper thing.
I think we all know that at this point.
Like that scalper that had 1,500 PS5s or whatever.
Yeah, the group in UK that had 3,500.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yep. So there's that.
Don't
No.
worry, guys. We stopped all the scalpers.
Yeah, so Sony came out and was like, we're out of PS5s. And then they released this tweet. And in the tweet, they said that they will have more consoles available in December.
And it's very specific in what they say when they say they're out of PS5s.
Mm-hmm.
That means Sony sold all of the PS5s they had to retailers.
Yeah.
So retailers currently have all of the PS5s, obviously mixed with consumers, but all the PS5s for sale, Sony has already given to your Myers, Walmart, Target, GameStop, Best Buy. All those stores currently have their PlayStations. And once those are gone, then we're waiting on Sony to make more.
I suspect...
Because I saw somebody, like when Dewey mentioned it, he's like, Sony's out of PlayStations. And I was like, that reads very trickily.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, there's no way, one, that they're like all the PlayStations are gone already. There's no way.
Mm-hmm.
Not if they upped production like they said. And then when I read that they're like, oh, we sold them all to retailers, I was like, okay, that makes sense.
I would suspect, though, after this weekend, there will be a drought until...
It might be a 2-week drought.
Yeah, until mid-December, I would assume.
A 2-week drought, or somebody announcing a sale of like 5.
Yeah.
Like Walmart's like, listen, we got 5. Here we go.
This could be... I mean, when they do announce sales numbers, it'll be interesting because if they stuck to their goal, I think it was 7.2 million.
Yeah, their production
by the first quarter of 2021, or by March, or it would be March, I guess.
Yeah, same time frame. Launch window.
Yeah, that's gonna be...
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot, and then you now get to have everybody's conversation when I go, pandemic, ?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's my favorite conversation to have. Everything's going so poorly, we're in a pandemic. I was like, Sony just sold 6 million PlayStations. So...
Yeah, that doesn't even include... Nintendo Switches are selling out still. Xboxes are selling out.
Can't buy a graphics card.
Graphics cards, CPUs.
Yeah.
Can't get any of those.
It's like, yes, I'm ignoring the giant elephant in the room where there are clearly things that have been affected. But I don't think you can blame the pandemic anymore. I think you have to look for a different excuse.
Yeah, I mean, I
think it's a pretty easy excuse of where you should repoint your finger, but
it's also probably a case of people redirecting their money, because like these are all things that if you're spending more time at home, you'd want to invest in.
It stops the pivot of we're not all going out for food every night. I didn't run up a $400 bar tab each week. I didn't.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah.
And PlayStation update. I've been still trying, still not successful. A few other people I know who have tried as well and also not had any success. But I think as we got further away from launch, retailers were releasing less and less consoles every go, obviously. So
yeah,
your chances of getting one are probably shrinking and not increasing. So
for now. Yeah. Yeah, you're doing the old hourglass move.
Yep.
Like sun through an hourglass, so are the days of our lives.
So of our PS5s.
Yeah. Like sun through an hourglass, so are the available PS5s. Eventually, you'll be able to find one when we walk into a store.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. Got plenty of time.
That's if you walk into a store.
When's the next PlayStation exclusive coming out? Do we know of one?
First half. There's the 2 in the first half of 2021.
Okay, so yeah, we've got plenty of time.
Which is Ratchet and Clank and Gran Turismo?
Yeah, plenty of time. Rockstar Games announced that it will be selling Red Dead Online as a standalone game starting next week. Red Dead Online will be regularly priced at $20. What's up?
No, nothing. It's just that the sentence you read doesn't make sense to me, so continue.
Okay. But Rockstar said it will be on sale for $5 from its launch until February 15th, 2021. Those who purchase the online game, the online component of the game, I don't know, you see, this is the weird part. Will also have the option to purchase and unlock the Red Dead Redemption 2 story mode later on, although Rockstar did not say how much that would cost. Grand Theft Auto Online will also be available separately from Grand Theft Auto 5 when the two offerings launch on PS5 in the later half of 2021.
So it makes sense because they're doing it with GTA. That part makes sense. If you're gonna break out your online on GTA, you break out your online in Red Dead. Okay, that lot. You're moving to having an online version of your game and the story mode. Okay, makes sense.
GTA makes sense. Red Dead makes sense because it's not selling the GTA. The online component isn't as popular as GTA, Grand Theft Auto Online. That's what my thought process initially was like Grand Theft Auto makes sense to me because it's been out. So like no one's gonna want to rebuy the game again.
Nobody wants the story mode.
Yeah. Whereas Red Dead, it's the opposite, really.
Yeah, you buy it for the story mode, and then online's kind of there.
Yeah.
Which is why when the initial part of when I was like confused, I was like, why would you break out online on Red Dead? No one's playing it comparatively.
Mm-hmm.
Clearly, somebody's still playing it because they keep updating it, so somebody's there.
Yeah. There's also updates for. I didn't throw them in the article because I didn't want to be on this topic forever, but fuck it. There's a Bounty Hunter expansion DLC update coming to Red Dead.
Yeah.
And there's a new heist coming to GTA Online.
Yeah, but it's when you read the first, I was like, that doesn't make any sense at all. And then when you find out later that GTA is also doing it, you go, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Faux show.
Still don't know why, if you were not going to buy Red Dead before, why you'd buy only the online part.
Yeah. I mean, for $5, I feel like that's...
Yeah. But after February 21st?
I feel like this is GTA
15th.
Being like, we're going to give you guys this and see if anyone jumps on it. And then if no one does, maybe we'll peter out on Red Dead and just focus solely on GTA.
At least on the online
also,
part. Just give me the fucking DLC.
This kind of bothered me a little bit because I prefer the story mode content on GTA and Red Dead.
Yes.
GTA Online has made a stupid amount of money.
Unbelievably stupid.
So with them separating them and selling them separately, I'm like, oh no. Like, are they...
going forward of we have no GTA 6 because...
GTA Online does so well.
Yeah. And we just call it GTA Online. But if they were really wanting to do that, they'll make a GTA 6 online as well. You'll get GTA 6 story mode and GTA 6 online.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'd be stupid not to just make free money by moving to GTA 6 online with a new map and blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
New engine, or not new engine, but new consoles. Yada, yada, yada. So yes, I do see that worry. I still am annoyed Red Dead Online is even a thing, and I didn't just get the remastered version of Red Dead Redemption in the game.
Yeah.
When all the assets are there. The world is literally in the game. Just let me do it. It would have been so cool to finish up 2
and just keep
either,
going.
Either keep going, or like even if it was a year later, be like, hey, we dropped it. Now you can just continue the story of the crew. It's been long enough. The story of John.
Yeah.
And then eventually, when we get to Lancelot, whenever he starts doing his thing. Number 4, Epic Games has added a subscription service to Fortnite. Number 5, starting on December 2nd with the launch of the 5th season in Fortnite's second chapter. What the fuck? Players will be able to purchase a Fortnite Crew subscription for $12 a month. The subscription includes a battle pass for the full season ahead and 1,000 V-Bucks to spend each month. The Fortnite Crew package also includes some exclusive content and outfit bundle each month that will only ever be available through the subscription. So they say. Interesting.
The money.
People will buy it. I'm surprised that didn't exist before because they already had battle passes. Why not just roll it in?
Yeah, I initially did a double take on that and was like, really?
Battle passes were $10 a season, so I guess it makes sense if you can just milk them for $12 a month instead and you run a season for 3 months. I could probably break out the math if you're like, okay, so that's $36.
It's a good.
If a season is 3 months, and I don't know that it is, but let's say it's 3 months. 3 months, you knock off $10 for the battle pass, you're down to $26. I don't know what 1,000 V-Bucks cost.
$6.95.
So times 3, $21. So you're down to $5 overhead. Or, $5 that you would have paid over. But then you're getting the exclusive rewards. So if you say that the exclusive skins are worth $5, then I guess you break even.
Terrible. Number 5.
Terrible.
Bossa Studios of Surgeon Simulator fame has confirmed it is laying off a small number of staff as part of a restructuring. The developer has told Eurogamer that 13 of its 85 positions were initially at risk, but this has been lowered to 10 and could be reduced further by the end of the consultation period. I'm assuming by this they're consulting with an outside third-party company or something, but
that would make sense.
Earlier this year, the company shifted to a hybrid remote office-based model. Now the developer is building on this and has decided to, quote, reshape the team for the new industry we see ahead of us, end quote. An anonymous source of GameIndustry.biz claims that these layoffs are indirectly related to mismanagement from Bossa Studios, pointing to recent Glassdoor reviews. Multiple Glassdoor reviews claim that management are too controlling and are too concerned with their own creative ideas than listening to the teams. On top of this, Bossa Studio has been accused of excessive crunch in their recent development of Surgeon Simulator 2.
Which I'm not sure how it sold. Because it wasn't, I don't think it had the hype around it as Surgeon Simulator initially itself did.
Yeah.
Saw it for like a week and haven't seen it since.
The anonymous source does go into detail. I guess I should say GameIndustry.biz and Eurogamer, I believe was the other one.
Yeah.
Do go into detail with specifics from the both of their anonymous sources in relation to this, if you're curious.
Interesting nonetheless.
Yes.
But number 6, TikTok creator ByteDance announced the creation of its publishing arm, Pixmane, as well as the launch of its gaming platform, Danwan Games. The new publishing arm currently has 5 mobile games in the works for the Chinese market. 3 of them will also be published on PC, and 1 will get a Switch release as well. Grim Valor, by Finnish developer Direlight, gaming platform... Grim Valor by Finnish developer Direlight is the one that's getting the Switch release as well. Got it. Gaming platform Danwan Games was unveiled in October and specializes in casual games such as puzzle titles and simple side-scrollers, the South China Morning Post said. The publication added that ByteDance ambitions to compete... People that write like this. The publication added that ByteDance ambitions to compete with Chinese giants Tencent and NetEase by leveraging the massive user base of TikTok and its Chinese counterpart, Douyin.
Do you want another NetEase / Tencent?
Another one? Yeah, right. It's like, all right, ByteDance, we're going to go for it, but we're going to start with side-scrollers. You guys heard of Mario?
Mario.
But this guy is named Omarion. Close, but not. Wait, no. If Omarion's what I think it is, there's no way China would use that.
You know how I know I'm getting old?
TikTok.
The newer, every new social media platform makes me angrier and angrier.
Oh, yeah, yeah. There was going to be nothing better when the talk of TikTok getting kicked out. I was just like, oh, that'll be so funny. It'd be hysterical just to watch all these 7-year-olds have to find out something else to do.
It's just, I just don't get it. I don't get it.
I don't get it either, but we're, old man yells at clouds.
Yeah.
You damn kids and your dance videos. Which I know is not the only thing on TikTok. I have heard stories, tales of yore, of like woodworking videos or handyman videos, like how you're curious how to fix something.
Mhm.
People show there's like that stuff on TikTok.
I do know that This Old House has a TikTok.
Yeah, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna do.
Follow them on TikTok.
Yeah, you got that right. I can't even remember we brought this up before because we brought up This Old House before. I never remember the guy's name, but I can hear his voice every time, and I can see the entire intro of going down like the driveway, and there's the giant wooden sign, and it's
well, the thing is at this point, like which, I guess, personality, because originally it was Bob Vila, and then
I think it was the one probably right after Bob Vila.
Yeah,
or like
so
mixed
it's
in, with some Bob Vila ones.
Yep. I can't remember his name though.
Yeah.
Fuck.
We brought it up before when we were doing the research.
Mm-hmm.
But it used to be on in the house sometimes.
Yep.
And you just hear, thanks for stopping at This Old House. And you're just like, there's probably information in this show I should understand and like know. But,
I'm not their YouTube channel. That's
Yeah.
where it's at.
but it's like when I do something now, we've talked about this before, but like if I had paid attention to This Old House,
Mm-hmm.
when I did the floor in that entire room,
Mm-hmm.
and then we hung a beam and everything else for framing out a garage door, I'm like, I'm feeling pretty good about whatever else we can do because we had no idea what we were doing. We like watched a couple of YouTube videos and went, let's go for it. See what happens.
Yeah.
And everything worked.
You got plenty of. We should build a little cabin back there. Go full bore.
Just build a cabin with a bunch of booby traps
Okay.
and see what stupid
Fit right in with the locals.
Yeah, and see what stupid person walks back there.
You probably would get someone, although I think that's illegal in New York State to have booby traps.
They're on my property. Fuck 'em.
It's still illegal, I guess. I don't know.
You're right. You know what I should do? I should just wire it with enough electricity to have cameras out there. And just cameras on all the trees just staring at it and be like, who's going to be dumb today?
Solar panels. It'd work now. Wouldn't work in the spring or summer, probably.
Well, the problem is I'd have to still... I'd have to clear a decent spot if we were going to do panels back there. I paneled the entire side of the house. Just that, like, entire... Anyway.
Let's see here. The Hugo Awards.
Who?
Hugo. The Hugo Awards.
Never heard of him.
We're going to talk about it.
All right.
We'll add a new... I've heard of them, but it's kind of like... It's out there. The Hugo Awards will add a new video game category for its 2021 ceremony. The introduction of a Best Video Game Award was revealed by the organizer's official Twitter account, stipulating that the accolade will only be offered next year. The Hugo Awards is a long-running literary award ceremony that focuses on science fiction. It has been running since 1953 and is voted for by members of the World Science Fiction Convention, or Worldcon. The event's co-chair, Colette Fozard, said, quote, since early 2020, many of us have spent more time gaming than we ever expected. This award will offer fans an opportunity to celebrate the games that have been meaningful, joyful, and exceptional over this past year, end quote. While there is currently no permanent Hugo Award category that recognizes interactive storytelling, the organizers have said the Hugo Study Committee is considering adding Best Game or Interactive Experience to the roster going forward.
All right, so Hugo Awards are not like a Pulitzer, but we're up there.
Yeah, it's for science. It's like the Pulitzer for science fiction.
Sure, yeah, because why? They need their own.
Rude.
You know how many books as a kid you could just go into a library, pull off a shelf, and they have 7 medals on the front of them, and you're just like, how many award shows do you people have?
Well, I feel that way now with video games.
Video games, movies,
Yeah.
fucking every industry has their own. Oh, we didn't talk about this one enough. Let's make our own award show because it's gonna be different. It's gonna be edgy. It's gonna be whatever. It's gonna be more in touch with the kids.
The video game awards always comes to mind. Remember the
VGAs?
The VGAs.
I mean, the VGAs are the game awards.
That's what
spawned the game awards.
Well, that's the funny thing is like, so there's the VGAs, and then I think Jeff Keighley did them one time, the VGAs.
Yeah.
And then he was like, basically like, I don't like these. I'm going to make my own award show. And then he basically ate the VGAs.
Yes.
And now he is the Game Awards.
Yeah. He's just like, that's mine.
I'm going to take this.
I'm going to take this. I'm going to make it much better and much less trashy.
Yeah.
And we're going to just, we're not going to air it on Spike.
We're going to have...
Which doesn't exist anymore, I don't think.
Nope.
Not to my knowledge.
We're going to have like fucking Schick Razor guy.
Oh my god, the fucking Gillette robot.
Yeah.
I don't remember what his name was, but yeah. Gillette. Yeah, the game. Luckily, that's why we only pay attention to the Game Awards and the Dice Awards. And the only reason we pay attention to those is because the Game Awards we think has the best show comparatively for everything else, and the Dice Awards is industry peers, which is more interesting than anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit about Oscars or anything else because of all the bullshit that goes on behind the scenes in them.
Fuck the Oscars.
Fuck the Oscars. Joseph Ferris said it best. And a few times. But yeah, all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes for those where you have to go to you're going to parties and you're throwing $300,000 just to even be potentially in the category, and it's just cool. It's a whole giant waste of money throwing.
Yeah, I'm real curious about this year's Game Awards. I think the streaming thing could have potential to make it good.
I think it'll make it better because you remove relying on an audience.
Yeah.
Where I think some of their skits beforehand, you are relying on an audience reaction. And when, at least for us, when you see the Game Awards audience from home, it never looks like a full house.
Yeah.
You clearly see empty seats scattered throughout. And I don't know if that's just because people have gone up to get drinks or what. Because then I see some people's photos from their seats and it looks their bodies all around them. So I'm I don't know where you guys were sitting, but when you look out in the crowd, there's clearly empty seats in places. It's but yeah, it removes having to wait on them for jokes, and you can still, now you just punch and punch and punch and hope that somebody at home went, I got that one. Number 8, in a post announcing PS5 controller support for Steam, Valve said gamepads are an increasingly common choice on the platform. Quote, in the past 2 years, the number of daily average users playing a Steam game with a controller has more than doubled, end quote. Games that lend themselves to controllers can easily see 60% of players using pads, Valve said, while certain genres like skateboarding games can see that number go well over 90%. Makes sense. There are just certain games that are much better to be played on a controller, and a bunch of people that didn't give a shit about consoles anymore moved and just brought their Xbox controller with them once they learned they could just use that.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering is what happened is in the past few years, video games have become really mainstream.
Yes. And because going to the old Xbox and PC conversation, if you get a PC, you don't need to also buy an Xbox.
Yeah.
So you get to throw everything together, and then you're like, oh, I have this giant Steam library. Well, I'm just going to play with a controller because I can.
Real curious about this PS5 controller support.
Yeah, it's okay, cool, it works, but obviously it doesn't have.
Does it work?
Yeah. It's not an Astro's Playroom demo.
Yeah. If it is, I will buy a PS5 controller for my PC.
I mean, the kick is that it always still, no matter what, comes down to what the devs have in store for it.
Yeah. My
I'm playing the show, and I'll tell you what, I don't have any adaptive stuff on my triggers. In the show.
The
got the hiccups going on.
My Xbox One controller is getting real.
Yeah,
real. I use mine a lot, and
that's true. I don't use mine as much as you, I think.
Yeah, it's
but
getting real finicky.
I don't use my original one anymore. I only use the one we bought. That was the version 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I have dabbled in the idea of buying a new Xbox controller because in the ads for this week, they have the Xbox Series X controller, which is the exact same controller, but in a slate blue with a white back.
Fancy.
So it's like a blue, like that coat hanger kind of blue, but actually more like this blue.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's gonna know what I'm talking about, but more like this blue across the face of it, and then the back is white. It really pops because it's matte finished, and I'm like, ooh, matte finished on this controller. I'm all about it.
I'd like an all black PlayStation 5 controller. Never happened, probably. At least not in the first year.
I want a zebra PlayStation 5 controller.
Ooh, you got taste.
What would call me a designer?
Number 9, a group.
Now
What's
I'm
up?
thinking about that. You just like picture a full fucking zebra PlayStation kit.
I could though. The new design lends itself well to that.
Very well.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of diagonal black lines across it,
Mhm.
but not stripes. That's too much. They have to be broken up like you would on a zebra.
There's a lady at work that has like high-end 3D printers, and she's looking. She said when someone
start do fancy stuff.
when someone posts the panel designs online, she'll print panels for them.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Fancy.
Yeah.
I don't even want,
Possibilities are endless.
Here's the thing with that, right? So think about it. We're going to go big picture, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anybody's really talked about this yet. So yeah, they're going to print 3D panels, right? Cool. What if you take the panels, you're like, all right, I 3D printed some panels, whatever. Here's all I want. I want you to get one. It can be vertical. You can do a lot of things now that my brain has just jumped places. So you can do vertical designs, but I immediately went to a landscape design. So like you're flat instead of standing it up.
Mm-hmm.
But instead of it just being like, oh, whatever, I printed a panel. No. You print a scene on that panel. A vertical scene. Mm-hmm. So when you're laying it down, you see the Battle of Helm's Deep on top of the...
It's intense.
Or some type of scene you could actually put on the top of the PS5.
Yeah, you could put like, I don't know, fucking Kratos and
you could put a zombie
Nathan Drake
hanging out.
Yeah.
In a boat with the boy.
Yeah.
You could put like a zombie trying to crawl out of it. On the vertical ones, you could have like the old like face pulling, doing the old face screaming through cloth maneuver. You could do there's so many things that go to my mind where I'm like, ooh.
You could have a baseball and a bat.
You could have it broken. Like it swung and like you threw the baseball into it, the old cracked display.
Mm-hmm.
You could just put a big X triangle circle square LED'd into the side of it.
You could Xbox brand it.
I've already seen a couple of those. People just sprayed them, but yeah, there's all those 3D things like that would be so cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 3D printers, man.
I hope somebody actually does that. I want
They will.
I want to see some bomb ass plates.
I think what you're gonna see a lot of is
because like, okay, cool. Oh, you spray painted it. You taped it up and sprayed it. Anybody can do that. You're not impressing me anymore. Sure, I like a color scheme of like the black one with the Spider-Man on it for people who are toting as the fake Miles Morales edition.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all right, cool, whatever. That's just the color. What if it was a 3D Spider-Man thing?
Him crawling up a wall.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 100%. Him on the vertical side scaling.
Yeah, like
Avengers,
the cover or whatever.
Yeah, like Avengers Tower or whatever. Mm-hmm. Or him being upside down, hanging there, doing the old like...
making out with Mary Jane.
Yeah, exactly. The old weird, horrible kiss scene from Tobey Maguire's.
Ridiculous. I think what we're going to end up seeing is like high performance panels with like extra vents in them.
I just want to see a sweet... Think about getting a sweet Spider-Man one, but it's his mask. It's the mask from Into the Spider-Verse. So it's a Miles Morales mask.
Yeah.
But the eyes have an LEDs behind them. Because you have a USB outlet on the PlayStation.
That's true.
So just have it work LEDs in the eyes that are, badass.
We'll have to get on that.
If your person gets bored. Once she has the plate, I'll just start throwing ideas and make her figure everything else out because you know how I do. I'm an idea man.
Yeah.
After that, it's out of my hands. That's why I leave it to Xbox and everybody to use the web browser to make their stuff work.
Yeah.
I just yell ideas into the ether.
Yeah. That's why I make the big bucks.
What?
Number 9.
You guys are getting paid?
A group of industry veterans from the likes of BioWare and Ubisoft founded independent studio Yellow Brick Games. Based in Quebec City, Canada, the founding team includes Mike Laidlaw, former creative director of the Dragon Age franchise at BioWare, His most recent experience was as creative director at Ubisoft. He is joined by Thomas Garreau, Jeff Skalsky, Frederic Saint-Laurent B. Jesus, these French names. Who collectively have experiences at Ubisoft, BioWare, Electronic Arts, and Activision Blizzard. The new studio promised to, quote, further cement the region's leading role in the global entertainment scene, end quote, with its first original project, which hasn't been revealed but already has a team of 15 employees. Yellow Brick Games said it wants to prioritize a craftsmanship approach with its projects, moving away from the type of AAA structure they all have experience with.
So which one of them needs the heart? Which one of them needs the brain? Which one needs to go back to Kansas?
Which one is the man behind the curtain?
Who's the witch? And the fourth thing that they were looking for on the road. Was there 4? No, it was 3. Right?
If only I had a brain.
Tin Man, the Lion, Dorothy. Was there a 4th person?
Scarecrow.
What did he need?
A brain.
Lion needed the heart. What Tin Man need? Oil?
Wait a second. Fuck. Didn't Tin Man need the heart? And
what did the lion need done?
Courage.
Yeah.
Cowardly lion.
But I thought it was another... I thought there was a part to that. Or was it just that he needed courage?
I think he just needed courage.
Ah, alright. Well, that's more lame the more I think about it. I needed an emotion. I once was a young man. Oh, whatever. That's Pumbaa, actually. That's how I once was a once was a young warthog coming out of Lion King.
I mean, that's the only thing it could be referencing, right? Yellow Brick Games.
Yeah, it's the only thing I can think of. The other option would be the Lego games.
So a couple things.
You pick up Lego yellow bricks and Lego games.
That's true. I really appreciate all the studios we're getting from like previously good studios.
Yeah,
like BioWare, Blizzard, EA, Ubisoft.
Everybody kind of breaking away now and being like, "All right, well, we're sick of this. Let's try to do something different."
I'm specifically interested because it's got Mike Laidlaw in it.
Right.
Do not like that last statement they said. Necessarily, I like the idea of it, but that could go.
There's implications that go with that. Yeah, I as well enjoy these studios we're getting and who's running them, the Mike Morhaimes and even whatever Chris Bettson's doing with board game style and all those things. I'm intrigued, but we got to go low level expectations. It's gonna be years before you see anything, and even then they might only be able to potentially make one game. If they can make one game, and not get swallowed up by somebody else in the meantime.
I mean, they just have 15 employees, so
like, cool, we're gonna go be Respawn Entertainment, we're gonna make Titanfall, and we're with EA. Okay. People are going to leave Infinity Ward, known for great Call of Duty. We make Respawn. Perfect. There's Titanfall. It was only on the Xbox, and we were bought by EA. Whoop! Right into a circle of loops.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not the best example, because in Respawn's defense, they're the only ones making anything good at EA right now.
Yes, but I mean, I'm just saying in terms of the... Like, we broke off, and we're right back in.
I say they have 1 year... One more good game cycle of being able to skirt EA's directives.
I think Apex has allowed them to skirt the entire directive. I think Apex makes them enough money to make EA just like, all right, fine.
Yeah, but it's EA. They're dumb.
True. They will make some boneheaded play at some point.
Yeah, they got one more good cycle. They'll have one game that slightly underperforms.
Star Wars.
Yeah, because they'll set ridiculous expectations, then EA will be like, no, you got to start doing what we say.
But the problem
you got to start using the Frostbite engine.
Yeah, you guys aren't allowed to use the other stuff anymore. Part of it is
Source engine. What's that? Get it out of here.
Yeah, never heard of it. Part of it is also that they scrapped Titanfall 3 on them already. So there are, There's that.
Yeah, they're working with what they got.
And who made Squadrons? Was that
That was Respawn, yeah.
There's your underperforming title right there.
Yeah, but yeah.
That's a pretty big
Yeah.
squashed title.
Yeah.
Which I knew was going to be the case when it came out anyway.
Yeah, too niche.
Nobody wants just a flying game in terms of a broad market.
Yeah, I mean, if it's gonna
the same reason nobody wants just a sailing game in terms of a broad market.
If it's gonna be a
Ubisoft.
flying game and it's gonna be mainstream, it's got to be arcadey.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think it was arcadey enough. I also just suck at flying games, so I'm not a great authority to actually speak on it. But it's not the Sea of Thieves equivalent.
mm-hmm.
Where Sea of Thieves, yes, is it what Nate doesn't like? But here's the catch. It's entirely that, so I'm okay with that. It's not stopping me. I'm not going into Sea of Thieves expecting sweet combat and story. I'm expecting arcade sailing with my friends, and one of us is getting thrown in the brig by the other ones.
Walk the plank.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a whole thing. Walk the plank, fight a kraken, shoot some death ships. It's gonna be a whole fun time. Going to Assassin's Creed and having to sail is a problem. Going into Star Wars Squadrons, where that's the only thing I'm doing is flying, but I'm flying in a very serious way. Now I'm not like a fan of it. But if we had the Old Republic being the MMO that it is, but you gave me a flying, like true flying things in it, where not obviously it wouldn't be the graphical fidelity that is Squadrons, but you're just like, oh cool, I'm instead of using the ships as loading screens, I'm gonna fly out of port and be out in space and go find, like I'm gonna jump to another system and find you and we go hang out in space.
Mm-hmm.
A la No Man's Sky-esque.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, let's do that. That's pretty fucking cool.
Can you imagine if No Man's Sky was like Star Wars branded? Yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah. You imagine if No Man's Sky had a story.
Imagine if they remade Star Wars Galaxies. That's the dream. That has all that. That's the dream.
I would actually be playing 2 MMOs then, probably.
That's the dream.
I'd have Galaxies open on one screen waiting for you to log on, and then never doing it. And I'd be playing WoW on the other one.
That's fair.
I would just keep my friends list open on Galaxies, like, at any point he'll be here. Number 10, Niantic has announced that it will restore a number of bonuses to Pokemon Go that had previously been added to encourage safe play during the pandemic. Following the increase in case numbers across the U.S. and reinstitution of local lockdowns in a number of areas, Niantic has reinstituted the bonuses it revoked last month, which will remain until at least June 2021. Good move.
Yeah.
I'm sick of not having double hatch time. Come on, man.
A little self-criticism there on my part there. That normally you'd pick up on this. And
the part where you screwed up the writing of it, and
well,
I just read it anyway.
It repeats the same thing.
Yeah.
That was like an aborted fetus moment for me where I'm like, do I want to write out all the bonuses? No, I don't. Okay.
Yeah.
Bell.
It was a double speak, but it was also it tripped up where it said that it announced that it would restore a number of bonuses to Pokemon Go that had previously been added. Blah blah blah. Like that sentence is a double entendre, not double entendre, but it's saying it doesn't make sense. And I read it and I was like, I know what he means, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
That had previously been added. Yeah, they were already added. Why are they adding them back? It's like, yeah, we missed the part where we said remove until the next sentence.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough critiquing your writing.
Studio MDHR has announced via Twitter that they are delaying the Delicious Last Course expansion for Cuphead for pandemic reasons, of course. Okay. I think later on, which I just saw before this, 2021 got pushed to next year.
That'll work. Nothing to worry about there. Game's already out. Just DLC, people. Number 12, interesting Cyberpunk 2077 talk from the week. CD Projekt Red is expecting at least 50% of the early sales of Cyberpunk 2077 to be digital, with the game's pre-orders visibly higher than with any Witcher release. Happens when you tease something for 20 years. Cyberpunk 2077 QA lead revealed there's a toggle for nudity and showed he spent 175 hours in the game without finishing it. He started the playthrough on PC and then moved it to Xbox One using developer tools. They did confirm cross-saves for console families, though, which is to say PS4 to PS5 and Xbox One to Xbox Series, whatever.
Bingo.
Bango. Bongo.
Bongo.
I don't want to leave the Congo. No. Man, Fallout Radio, there are moments where I just all of a sudden find myself there.
Yeah.
Cool for the cross saves. Obviously, it doesn't affect me. I'll be playing on PC. I've already bought the game, just waiting to download it. So,
where'd you get it through?
I got it right through GOG. 100% of the proceeds to them. So, figured why not when I can.
Yeah. I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention about Cyberpunk. Can't remember what it was though. So
that you're gonna never toggle nudity off because I'm not.
Yeah. No. Nudity on.
Which is a weird way to say the word nudity.
Yeah. Nudity on.
Yeah.
Nudity off. No, nudity on.
Oxymoron?
Yeah, I'm getting nervous as we get close to launch because I'm gonna have to make choices on how, like, you make choices of where you start from, how you play.
3 different factions.
Yeah,
listen, man, I've been making decisions all week. They're called covenants. Factions to me.
Yeah, see, this is unfair. You're gonna have experience in this decision.
I'm gonna make commitments. And then I'm gonna try to replay the game a different way.
And then what happens, what if we choose the same start?
How
then
terrible.
I feel like
we're missing 2/3 of it.
Yeah, we're missing 2/3 of it. So
I'm not telling you what I pick.
I don't know.
I haven't looked at anything to even know what I would begin to potentially
I haven't
pick,
either.
so.
I just know.
I know. Yeah,
I know what they are, like what their titles are.
Yeah, corporate
rogue,
something.
Yeah,
corporate man, gangster man, hacker man, something like that.
Hacker man,
ye old hacker man. But yeah, that's all I got. The other deal I was going to shout out because I already said I got one out, so I'm going to get the other deal out. Humble Bundle Choice is currently $100 for an entire year, which is 12 months of games, which is a lot of games, probably like $2,000 worth of games.
Tis a good deal.
It's a very good deal. So if you're needing games delivered to you each month, Humble Choice is $100 for the year. That's it. That's all I got. There's a lot of other deals around. I don't really need to go through a bunch of other deals, but that's the big one.
Deals for days.
So if that's it, then we will move on to my favorite part of this, where it's been 7 days since we've done this. What have you been up to?
Let's see here. I got a new bed frame.
Ooh.
That was exciting. Very nice, actually. Very solid.
Yeah.
I think it was a good purchase.
Firm.
Yeah, like our old one was a bed set that we bought a couple years ago. 4 years ago, probably. Maybe 5. 4 years ago, I think. Because we got it a year before we got the house.
Okay.
Was not sturdy.
Okay.
You get in and out of bed and it's creaky.
A little shaky.
Footboard was warped.
Hmm.
It was just not a good experience. A little high, way high.
Way high.
Yeah. Milo is getting older and he was having trouble jumping into the bed. So Samantha's like, I like this bed frame. And she's like, and it's shorter because, she's got to have I'm not going to be one to just be like, oh, let's buy a new bed frame.
Yeah.
And she had to throw in it's shorter for Milo.
Yeah.
Because then I'm immediately on board,
Yeah,
that's my weakness.
Yeah.
So.
What? He needs what? He needs an Xbox. Got it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it was surprisingly good. Went together. It was like it was very IKEA-ish,
Ooh.
but super solid. Anyways, relevant video game things. Assassin's Creed Valhalla really has been the majority of my time.
A lot of time.
It's got a lot of Black Flag vibes for me. Not in the way that you're gonna jump to.
Okay.
Boats, not a lot of boat stuff actually.
I took a big inhale moment right there. Just like,
Just
don't make me do it.
The free running issues, like it's just janky.
My favorite meme.
Yeah. Yeah, like it doesn't follow its own fucking rules. Like it's just annoying. Like the whole idea is you're free running, you hold A so that it knows that you want to climb things and stuff like that. But then it'll just climb shit when you're not holding A. And then like B is supposed to be the I want to go down thing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't like the A, B, A up, B down. No. Just no.
Sometimes B up, sometimes A down. I don't know.
Exactly. That's exactly it. So that's what I'm fighting with on that. I did play maybe an hour and a half of Zombies on Call of Duty, but on PS5. So I was at Jason's house.
Oh, okay. So you played Zombies with him.
I played solo by myself.
Oh.
I got carried to level up to wave 23.
Oh.
I died 17 times.
Jesus. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Well, first off, Call of Duty, me. Controller. Haven't used a controller in that way in a very long time.
I haven't played a shooter controller since I attempted to play Modern Warfare Remastered like an idiot.
Not familiar with like what you should be doing the whole time.
Right.
So it was pretty messy.
The meta inside Zombies.
Exactly. The people who I was playing with, also I was on a PC server.
Oh, okay.
The people I was playing with were, I wish I had sent them a message and been like,
sorry.
Props, because they were reviving me every single time they could. And I was like, oh my God, well, just let me fucking die. I'm like, you're literally, I'm holding you back right now. So that was fun. Watch Mighty Ducks 1 and 2.
Ducks fly together.
Yeah, they do. They do fly together. What else we got here? Mandalorian. Fantastic.
Did you watch this week's?
I did. I watched it today.
I have not watched it. Last week's was whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, all right, more backstory. It was fun. I was having some enjoyment of watching a bunch of people that after 3 were doing the meme of like, me having watched all Rebels and Clones and know what's going on, and then immediately in episode 4 to go, fuck off.
Yeah.
and then
which that's going to come back again in this episode.
Yeah.
So.
I watched a bunch of those people get just like pissy. Like, what? What's going on in this? Like, what? This episode sucks. And I was just like, oh, you're just mad because you thought you knew what was happening. Yeah. And they immediately went, what if you don't?
Then my normal anime, and that's about it. That's life right now.
Fair enough.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
I think I'm gonna try to get some Hades in before the Game Awards.
You got 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that'll be enough time. Like if I play, 5 to 10 hours, I feel
we should play some Zombies at some point.
We should. I still haven't even. It's installed. Still haven't even opened it on my PC.
Yeah, so. just because now that I am 60,
got more time, more free time.
I can justify stopping.
Got a small window. I got
yeah, small window. Like we got 2 hours of Zombies, and then that's it. I gotta play Football Manager. I gotta keep going. Eventually, I have to do work. At some point, I'm supposed to go to work, but December.
Back burner.
Works in December. Yeah. I'll just open up a remote session of my PC at home and start playing WoW. Hotspot my phone. Remote play of my. Open up Rainway and start playing WoW on my phone. I could.
It would probably work really well.
It also probably cause problems. There's been some stuff with. I don't know. There was something with WoW before about like people playing it on the NVIDIA Shield, where they ended up like having weird account bans because they were just playing on their Shield because it was like forwarding things, whatever. So I don't risk it. Whatever.
So what have you been doing?
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, wow.
Played a bit of Hades.
Mm.
Couple hours. I enjoy it. It's a fun game.
Mm.
But I was using it as my
I need a break.
no, not as my break, as my we gotta get to launch. So I was playing it over the weekend when I was just like, I don't really want to start anything else that's, too. I didn't really have anything that was too in depth that I was like waiting to start. And Football Manager wasn't out yet, so I was like, I'm just pushing towards launch. And if I wasn't playing Call of Duty with Todd, then I finished the Call of Duty campaign.
So how was that?
That's pretty good. It's interesting. I thought I knew the finish. Turns out I was close. Not exact. I was off on the plot twist by like half a degree. But it was fun. It was enjoyable. But when him and I were always playing multiplayer, I'm not a huge play multiplayer by myself person.
Yeah.
So if he wasn't on, I was playing Hades to just burn some time and hit some runs, watch some football, all this stuff. And that's really been it. Mandalorian, gotta watch the latest episode. Yeah, I think that's it.
It's gonna be
been a lot of WoW.
Yeah, WoW. These next couple weeks for you are gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it'll be WoW. If Empire of Sin actually comes out next week, I'll probably be getting it. Not that I might be playing it, but I'm gonna have it on. I'm gonna put it on the Switch just to have it
just in case.
For when I travel, when I go south and everything, I'll probably play that. And then I'll just have that as my. I know I gotta find something to do with those.
Well, I just like to play with things, so it makes.
Well, it's the funny part is like they're scarves. I should wear them, but like those two scarves, I don't know if I can justify wearing somewhere without looking like a douche.
I feel you.
One is
this one you could probably get away with.
No, that one I definitely gonna get away with. That's a 2018 MLS Esports Cup.
Yeah, but people would just think it's like a sports thing.
True, maybe, yeah. The Overwatch one is a little bit, yeah, more finicky. At least I'm okay because Overwatch 2 hasn't happened yet. So we've had enough gap where people wouldn't 100% pick up on it. But like when Overwatch 2 comes out again, or it comes out the first time, I guess, when Overwatch 2 finally releases, then wearing that's going to be red flagged. Also, what the hell do I care what people think?
True.
Yeah, so it's been, and then Cyberpunk, and then break like 2 weeks of whatever I want until Christmas week, my next break of play a bunch of things. But yeah, it'll be a fun time. Did want to go with this conversation. Don't remember what the first thing was I said in the beginning of this podcast. I know food is on the list.
Yeah, you said something about food.
Something else.
I don't think I thought it was just food.
Was it just food?
I remember the food thing.
Yeah, let's go with the food thing then. Somebody will tell me what I messed up. Whatever. Not going to go back and listen to it. Yeah, the food thing. So, Thanksgiving. And we'll probably have this conversation around Christmas again. So, same conversation we have, I think, around Easter usually, too. There are moments of the year where people gather with meals. Sometimes, at least for me, I associate certain food items with a holiday.
Yeah.
Because growing up, I knew if I was going to get this, like, we're going to Thanksgiving, this will be there. So then any other time I had that, I was like, wait, it's not Thanksgiving, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm confused.
Yep.
Other things could just be thrown right out the window, and I would never give a shit. I could just take them and throw them outside and be like, whatever eats them, good for them. I don't want none of that. I want no part of that. So there are certain things that I'm just like, nah, I don't ever care. Squash. Just straight up not a huge squash person. In terms of not a huge, like, never, preferably.
I like squash. Butternut squash.
Yeah, that's what I figured. If there was going to be a squash, it would be butternut. But I just don't give a shit. That you're wasting space on my table.
That's fair.
I'll take an extra dish of mashed potatoes, please.
All right, so is that what are the dishes you dislike and could throw away? Squash?
Squash is up there. I'm trying to think because sometimes I don't know what else would be considered like a staple of a Thanksgiving.
Mine's
it's like squash, turkey. Squash isn't necessarily a staple, but it's there for some people. Mashed potatoes is always there, and mashed potatoes I'm fine with. I don't like a lumpy mashed potato though.
You like it creamy?
A little bit. Kind of a nice balance between the two.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on rustic mashed potatoes?
Are we talking like is that
So traditionally smaller potatoes
right
with the skin left on, and they get mashed with the skins on.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
That usually brings me almost more to thinking semi-potato salad. Usually when I think of that, I think more like a potato salad. But I know what you mean, yeah. I'm okay with that, yeah. Sometimes it depends, though. Some people do some flavoring things that are just unnecessary. Like, yeah, I made mashed potatoes and I put a shit ton of pepper and salt in them. I'm like, why?
See, I'm a big pepper advocate.
Let me put it on the side. You don't need to put it in the start. You know what I mean? If I want to add some, I can add some.
I guess.
Sometimes, yes. Look, you can put enough in to get a seasoning while it's cooking, but you should never have enough where I wouldn't want to add more.
Okay.
Because because the problem is I can never take it away. Because if you put too much in, now it's just pepper.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't take that pepper out that you put in to take the edge off.
Mm-hmm.
Certain stuffing, I'm out. Yams out. It's
with the marshmallows on them.
Yeah, don't care.
Yeah, I fucking hate that.
Similar to a squash. Or whatever the other word for yam is.
Surprisingly, I'm not super adverse to cranberry sauce. Kind of actually like it.
I'm not a huge fan.
I like to use it almost as like not a palate cleanser, but like I usually grab a little bit of it and it kind of just like makes everything else better.
If I'm going to do cranberries, they're going to be in a juice and there's going to be vodka. So,
what else?
Not a huge cranberry sauce person. Stuffing for me, I don't care if it's stuffing. I prefer it as a dressing. I don't know if you know
What's the difference?
Stuffing it was in the bird.
Oh.
Dressing you have it on the side. Is the difference between the two words, but it's literally the same fucking thing. It's just where you put it.
You ever had like I'm down with I just call it stuffing, but I get what you're saying. Yeah. So like
I take my stuffing outside my bird.
Yeah. Love it. Yes. Love boxed stuffing.
Yep, don't
love homemade stuffing.
I'll take both.
Yeah.
But I want your basic ass stuffing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I want traditional American stuffing. I don't need anything fancy.
Let's throw in, what is this? Like there's little pieces of onion, breadcrumbs, seasonings.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we're going with. Keep the nuts out of it.
Yeah. No fucking nuts.
Yeah, people
are you nuts?
Right? Exactly. You have a mental problem. Keep those away.
Yeah.
Some people do a rice stuffing. Not a huge fan.
No.
Some people put berries in their stuffing, cranberries. And I'm just like, no. I want this wad of seasoned bread. And I'm going to put it in my mouth.
Yeah. Yeah. My mom made this bomb-ass homemade stuffing all the time. But it's gotten to the point now, it's so amazing. But the sheer amount of work that is required to make it,
not worth it.
I feel guilty. I'm like, no, just don't even do it. Like, is it amazing and I will eat all of it? Yes, but I feel guilty because it's just so time consuming.
Right. I think, and I'm going to test this next year. I think I'm officially would err on the side of a turkey breast than a whole turkey.
Interesting. Okay.
I think a whole turkey isn't worth it. It's a combination.
It's more symbolic than anything else.
Right. And it's a combination of it's just me.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was evidence with our 19-pound turkey tonight.
Yeah. We did. I mean, we literally we were just eating turkey.
Yeah.
And we ate a lot. We ate too much turkey. And there's still a fuck ton of turkey.
We ate, air quotes, half the turkey.
Mm-hmm.
You can never get all the meat off of a turkey, which is the other problem. I don't have the patience for it. I'm insane.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at it. I'm going to get off what I can easily get off. And the moment I have to do a little bit more work, I'm yeeting that thing into the yard to whatever bear comes around. So yeah, I might pivot to a turkey breast. Give myself a shot at like a turkey breast and be like, all right, cool. I just have enough for me for the week. Here we are. Cool. Done. Stuffing, same thing. Boxed all day. Because I don't feel the need to. Stovetop does it fine. I don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't need to do anything different.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on green bean casserole?
Out.
I'm a big green bean casserole advocate.
I'll take
one of my favorite things.
I'll take green beans, but we can stop there. You don't need to do anything else to them. Same thing. I like myself a good
green bean casserole is so good though.
As people will say, a good charcuterie platter. You know, the old cheese and yada yada. But I'll take a good charcuterie platter. I just like that word charcuterie. But I also take a nice veggie platter. Raw veg.
Mm-hmm.
When I say raw veg, you can basically make the whole thing broccoli and tomato, like grape tomatoes, and give me a little bit of dip. And I will sit there with celery, broccoli, and grape tomatoes and just keep the tray in front of me.
Yeah.
It looks weird because I ate all of that and nobody else got any, but that's. But green beans, I will just eat on the as a cooked veg. Cool, there they are. All right.
Have you ever done? Does your family maybe or whoever do anything outside the American norm, like ethnic foods? So, like Samantha's family, for example, grape leaves.
Okay.
And
Interesting.
What was the other one?
That stuffing?
No.
Because there was that one thing you brought up that one time. It was kind of like a stuffing. I thought. Or something.
I don't know. The only thing.
Or no, it was a pasta and something dish.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the only thing we did weird this year was grape leaves, I think.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything like that. Scalloped potatoes.
I love scalloped potatoes.
I've turned a corner. I think when I was a kid, I was a no.
Dude,
I was because there were those and there were mashed potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I'm just gonna take those. I'm gonna take the mashed potatoes.
I think scalloped potatoes are criminally underrated. Yes.
I think I would definitely take both.
Yeah.
They're both allowed to be there. I will reserve space.
Yeah. But with the caveat that you were saying earlier, if you have both, the mashed potatoes should be a little bit on the non-lumpy side. They should definitely be on the non-lumpy side.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to have...
It's a texture thing.
I don't want to have the mashed potatoes that you pull out of the fridge the day after. Like on the first day. You know what I mean? I don't know if you've noticed that. You get a mashed potato texture after you've chilled them and like try to reheat them. Yeah. They're never the same.
No.
Also, I think a weird one, and I'm pretty sure it's Thanksgiving. I'll get a text message if I'm wrong. But oysters. I think it was a baked oyster dish of sorts.
That's interesting.
And it was mostly my mother and my uncle.
Baked oysters?
I believe it was baked, yeah.
Huh.
And I'm pretty sure it was oysters. I'm going to get a text message if I'm wrong, but it was mostly my mother and my uncle that were all about that. And I think I made the mistake of just never trying it, probably. Or never really giving it a good, fair shake. Because I like seafood. I probably enjoyed that. But I don't think I ever tried it that I remember. Or if I did, I was just kind of like, it's whatever. It's not out on it, but I'm not like... It's not a staple on my table.
Yeah.
My table is actually very bland.
Yeah.
When you consider...
It's a fucking cliche, like...
When you consider the buffets that people have.
Thanksgiving staples.
What rolls are we getting? Because this can be a whole thing, too.
That's a loaded question. I mean...
Do you do rolls? Do you just do bread slices?
So at my house, we always did dinner rolls. Like
Hawaiian.
Hawaiian? Yep, like a dinner roll, and you'd put a little slice of butter on the top of each one when you bake them.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So dinner roll.
I mean, I'm the person that'll just take a whole rack of sweet Hawaiian, open the bag, and start eating them with my hands.
I mean, also delicious, but
I'm like, what? You had butter? I'm sorry.
Well, you put it. That's what made them so dope. Was you put the little bit of butter on them before going in the oven.
Yeah,
so
I don't even think I've baked them. I use it like a tearaway bread. And I just open it in the store and keep shopping. I just keep shopping while I'm eating an empty bag of sweet Hawaiian rolls. I don't know. Is there anything desserts? I don't know if there's anything else that's another like. Some people do mac and cheese. Some people do ham.
Yeah, my mom usually does mac and cheese, which it's not like it's. I think we've had it before. It's
probably. I'm never against mac and cheese.
It's oven baked mac and cheese.
Yeah, and I'm never against mac and cheese. I don't care if you made Kraft and put it on the table. I'll eat mac and cheese.
I mean, for me, and usually what my mom would make is pumpkin pie,
Yep.
and then I would always push for some sort of chocolate pie.
Ooh, okay.
But usually it was always pumpkin pie and then something else like chocolate pie, apple pie, some
Yeah.
other
So
cliche.
I was usually pumpkin pie.
Mm-hmm.
There might be some sort of cheesecake. There might have been some sort of a chocolate cake, like an actual cake
Mm-hmm.
instead of a pie. And then there were a thing called whoop-de-doo bars. Now, whoop-de-doo bars could make me a very large man.
Yeah. Yeah.
They are delicious. So
When-
I'm going to run you through them.
Okay.
Your base layer. In the bottom of like a large... I don't even know what you call these pans. It's like I have a glass one downstairs, like a casserole pan, I guess, kind of.
Like a meatloaf pan? Or is it like a
No,
Is it
thinner.
Is it like the big Pyrex?
It's like a 9x13
Okay, yeah. Like
Pyrex
yeah.
glass.
So the casserole pan, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Bottom of that gets I want to say it's shortbread base,
Okay.
crumbled up shortbread. Lay it down. I'm gonna butcher this recipe because I don't remember how it's made. I'm trying to remember what's in it. Then there's strawberry jello, a layer of strawberry jello, I believe, with strawberries in it, is laid down. Then it's bananas and banana pudding on top of that, and then whipped cream on top of that.
It sounds good.
Oh, it's delicious. I have an unhealthy relationship with it to the point where I would eat the entire thing if I was allowed, or I allowed myself. But you would find me having diabetes and passed out on the couch. Yeah, so that was so good.
My dessert that was like special was I think what I've talked about before, but it's the icebox cake.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Always a big fan of the icebox cake.
I believe I've talked about this before, but I threw it into the dessert conversation part of this, but it's on the table during dinner. It's not a dessert. The desserts are the pies and the cakes and stuff like that. What I haven't had in a while during those pie discussions, I haven't had a solid apple pie or like a peach pie. But when they would get made, oh, you watch out. I'm gonna eat the apple pie.
I didn't bring you apple pie this year, did I?
No. Did you
My
have
bad.
apple pie?
Samantha made.
You
apple
could have just
pie.
not told me.
I know I could have.
Now I'm gonna go yell at Sam.
She actually. I mean, this makes me sound like a bad person because I was gonna say she actually makes really good pie, but that kind of insinuates that she's
I know
not
what you
good
mean.
at making
It
things.
seems
so.
like a backhanded.
Yeah.
No, but we had it before.
Yeah.
It was good. The dish though is called surprise salad. Now it's not a
That doesn't sound good,
right. It doesn't sound good, but I think it's just what we were told as kids. It's 100% probably not the correct name. If I was to go find this somewhere,
Mhm.
they'd probably have an actual name of it.
It's their way of getting you to eat it.
Yeah, but I don't know if it was just like a fun name or something because it's more of a dessert than it is like an actual dish. So here we go. Buckle up. You need to get oh my god, I want to say it's number 37 pasta if I'm remembering the recipe correctly, but it's that very very small, like almost risotto pasta, like the very very tiny beads. You know the pasta I'm talking about?
I guess, yeah.
It's they're tiny, like very very tiny pasta.
Like couscous, kind of.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
Kind of like that. You get a box of that. You get mini marshmallows. You get pineapple tidbits. You get orange, canned tiny mandarin oranges. You get a lot of whipped cream.
Oh, I know what this is.
Or a lot
yeah.
of Cool Whip, I think.
Yeah, I know what this is.
Yeah. Put it all together in a big old bowl. Start stirring.
Mm.
Delicious time. Yeah. Obviously, you cook the pasta.
The pasta's the weird thing on that for me.
It is, but it's more of a texture thing,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's there just to kind of like break everything else up. Because otherwise, I think you'd have probably more of a soup, really.
Mhm.
But oh yeah, I'll demolish it. It's so good.
Interesting.
Yeah, that is. I believe I've given that recipe to our social media person who made it one year and brought it into work, and it was gone. I think that sounds about right. And the recipe I have makes a ton. It is meant to make like a bowl like this.
Yeah. Nice.
The other one I have, I don't have it at Thanksgiving, but it's called Green Fun.
These weird names.
Add it to the kid list of we're gonna have fun names for things. That one's similar, but I don't think there's coconut in it. It's pineapple, lime jello, maybe. Melted marshmallows. Something else is in that one. And it's more solid than the other one. But it's also I don't need the other things. I'm just gonna eat the treats the entire time. I'm just all right, big. How big of a spoon do you guys have? Yeah, I'll take that. And just be flopping things onto my plate. Yeah, I don't know. There's not many things that I've had at a Thanksgiving wise where I've been like, I just see their way out. There's a few things I can think of right off the bat, but I was trying to think of like back to the Snapchats I saw of other people's areas and like what they were doing, and I was like, I didn't see anything that was like, But I love a good gravy.
Mm-hmm.
Good gravy's always up there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's what it is. I'm never gonna complain about crescent rolls or any soft baked item.
Oh yeah.
Every time. Yeah, but that's about it that I can think of. I was just curious. Curious indeed. I know everybody does everything differently sometimes. Like grape leaves, never had them, so I don't even know if I could kick them off my table or not. But
they're pretty straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
Rice. The filling is rice and usually some sort of ground meat. So like I think traditionally it's lamb.
Are they like rolled up?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like
it takes a grape leaf and you roll it up. It's almost like the shape. It's like a.
You roll it up.
It's
the
long.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's almost like a skinny cigar.
Oh, okay. Just don't smoke it.
Yeah.
Why are Matt and Nate smoking the grape leaves this year? Oh, don't ask me. They're weird.
It's like rice and some sort of ground meat. Usually I think traditionally it's lamb, but it could be whatever.
I would bet lamb, yeah.
And citrusy usually with like allspice and that type of thing. Garlic.
Is the citrusy coming out of the grape leaf? I don't experiment with grape leaves.
It's got a lot of lemon in it.
Okay. I just don't know why. I mean, grape leaves, sure, location wise and
Mm-hmm.
traditionally and stuff. I was wondering if you could just do it without grape leaves or if it's just
I don't know. Probably not. I mean, you'd have to have
or
something.
Or if there was a reason it's grape leaves, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I'm not really sure. I should know, but I don't.
I mean, I don't know if you should know, but
it's so.
Listen, I show up places and eat things. I don't ask why.
My family is actually Turkish and Armenian, so like also in that same area.
How weird how that worked out.
My dad's adopted, so it kind of makes it really confusing.
You're gonna be Charlie Day with the red string going up on a map pretty soon, just trying to figure everything out. But yeah, no, it's I don't have anything really that's. I don't think I have anything that stands out as like a weird. Some of those stuffings, because there have been times where there've been 3 stuffings being passed around a table.
Yeah,
the rice one I think it had nuts in it.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely had like dried fruit in it. I think like cranberries or something, but I think it also had nuts in it. And then my basic ass, delicious stuffing that you never need to do anything to. Stop trying to make things worse. But yeah, I'm always just curious to see what people do. Yams, as I know, up on a lot of people's lists. I'm like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Not a huge sweet potato person.
No.
But I know some people do that.
You will for $1.
I will for $1. Made $25 off that. Swindler. You say $1 a fry, I say, I'll take that sacrifice. I'd like the money. But yeah, I don't know. Sounds like it to me.
That's all I got.
There is part of me that, in a pandemic year of not going and going to my normal location for goods.
Mm-hmm.
goods and services. I don't know. I was totally fine just doing my own Thanksgiving in air quotes of just like, I'm gonna make some bullshit appetizers and sit around and play WoW all day.
Yeah.
Watch the football on my other screen. It'll be a great lazy day.
Yep.
Then I've got people like, and I love them for it, but it's like, do you want any food? We made a ton, and I'm like, sure, but like I feel weird taking it. I know we talked about this downstairs, but it's like, I'm not like the hermit that couldn't get out of his house. Like, I just didn't want to go. It's like, yes, I know you're trying to do it just to be nice and be like, a good friend and yada yada. Like, hey, if we have food, if you want it. But every time somebody's like, hey, do you want something? And there's so many times where I'm just like, I've been trained to say no. Like, oh, would you like this free thing? Nah, I'm good. Go over to somebody's house. Oh, hey, can we get you a drink or anything? And I'm just like, nah, I'm good. And I'll wait like 3 hours in before I'm like, can I get is there a cup I can put like a water in or something? But my initial reaction is always no.
Mm-hmm.
Every time. Oh, you need anything? No, I'm fine. I'm existing. It's what we do. So it's, there. And then, yeah, it was a mix of, so I did everything that I was going to do for myself. Made 2 botched pies, which the filling was fine, but 2 crust botched pies.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're botched. They're still
still
more than edible.
Yeah, they're more than edible. It's just that the crust was a giant disappointment in both situations. And so I did that, and then I made myself some good old mini hot dogs and crescent rolls because I was just lazy, and those are the perfect finger foods while I'm playing WoW. And I made myself a box of stovetop cornbread stuffing because why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So I did those things. I went, cool, that's all. Then I got delivered a stack of food, and then you got a fucking 19-pound turkey. And we're like, yeah, we'll cook that. Which the 19-pound turkey thing I knew was coming, so I was like, I really don't need food. I know there's a giant turkey on its way, but at the same time, I'm like, I enjoy food, so
yeah,
it's good. It's good to have people care about you, part of it, but it's like also don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Fun things. I know some people a couple people I was talking to her. Oh my God, I'm not going. I'm stuck at home or whatever. I was like, sorry, that's a problem for you. I love it.
Yeah, it was nice. I was talking to my brother today about it actually because he was like, I actually liked it because it's not. He's like, I was like, yeah, it's genuinely like a day off now instead of rushing around and going places.
Yeah, otherwise it's actually you have to put in another day of work, run around, go places. If you're in a relationship of sorts, you're probably having 2 to 3 Thanksgivings. Like, oh, we gotta go be with our friends. We have to go to your house. We have to go to your parents' house. It's just the whole thing, and
it's some Samantha's side of the family. They have traditions where, they have their dinner, but then someone else has a family get together. And also they go to someone else's house for dessert. Yeah. So it's just it's and that's just her side.
Yeah, it's a day of traveling. Like my family, the whole thing was for everything I remember anyway. Travel to cousin/grandma's house, ate at grandma's house or cousin's house, whoever was doing it that year. They're literally next to each other. And then, cool, we had food. Maybe we'll play some games. Football's on. We just hang out. I'm going to go to sleep. Or I had to go to work at Target. That was it. There was no, let's go run around and drive to 16 people's houses for all this. It's like, no, not dealing with that. I hope I never have to in a way. Because I will have to have a bottle of alcohol with me. Because my patience will be going down the more houses we go to. You see an inverse graph directly proportional to the amount of houses we went to versus the amount of patience I have left.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's Black Friday time. If you're listening to this on Saturday, remember, most Black Friday ads run through Saturday as well. Sunday's the reset, so if you don't buy it by then, you're screwed.
Mm-hmm.
But then you get Cyber Monday, so
Cyber Monday.
if you're all that ridiculous, you shouldn't be. But this year, buy online. You don't need to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Also, every year, you don't need to go anywhere. Buy online.
Just keep an eye out. Usually, if you shop around, you can find the same deals or close enough deals
All year.
all year.
I every single time whenever I bring that up to people, you see it with TVs for us all the time. Oh, should I get a new TV on Black Friday? I was like, honestly, no. One, because some of the models they release on Black Friday are meant only for Black Friday models. You'll never find them again, and they discontinue them immediately, and they're garbage. And two, your second best time, if not the best time, is the week before Super Bowl, because they sell every single TV then too. And also, like Matt said, if you just kind of watch throughout the year, you'll see the exact same prices roll around. There's no reason to go crazy other than the media has told you to. That being said, this is the end, officially, now. We will see you next week when one of us wakes up from a turkey-induced coma. Goodbye.